Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Osterholt. I'm here in the office of the Ohio Pork Council, and we are very excited to get to share more about where pork comes from and show how pigs live on farms in Ohio. So this is a pretty neat opportunity to do a virtual field trip today because we have students from Idaho, Michigan, and Ohio all on the line. So to some of you, it's good afternoon, and to some, it's good morning, right? And we'd like to thank our sponsors before we begin. We've got Farm Credit Mid-America, the Ohio Soybean Council, and Cargill, who all help make this possible, including the tech support from Dan Toland. So thank you, Dan. All right, without further ado, let's get right to our special guest and our farmer, Loren Schwab. Hi, Loren.
Hey, everyone.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and where are you at and what have you been doing today?
Yeah. So my name is Lauren, and I work on my family's pig farm in Ohio, just a little north of Cincinnati. And it's a cold day in here in Ohio, and I am in the warm birthing barn where all the little piglets are born. So I work for my dad, and it's my responsibility to care for piglets as they're born. So on our farm, the moms become pregnant and have their piglets, and I care for them until those piglets are around 3 weeks old, and they get really big just within 3 weeks, and they're big enough to stop nursing on their mom, and then they go to another farmer close by until they're ready for market. And so I'm going to show you the piglets today. I'll switch it around on them. These piglets are 5 days old, and this is a good mom. She has 12 big piglets. That's how many they usually have. Right now, they're getting their lunch, and mom is really big, and so she's centered in the middle, and they can come over to nurse on her whenever they want, and that keeps the piglets protected. So she lays in the middle, and she can lay down slowly, and the piglets stay off to the side to not get in her way. And it's my job to come through every morning and afternoon and feed the mom. And so she has a feeder up here all for herself, and I can show you a sample of the feed. So I feed her, I have some in a bucket here, some corn and soybean meal that's all ground up. Hopefully that's focusing okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it has a lot of other vitamins and minerals in the feed that the veterinarian prescribes. And so she eats a lot since she has so many piglets. She needs at least 5 pounds for herself and an additional pound for every piglet she has each day. And then I'll also show you, I'm thankful that she can be inside. So she has an assigned pen, so I can keep track of her. And then she has, let me see if I can angle it, a water spigot. And water comes out. I might wake her up doing this. But she can drink whenever she wants, fresh water at all times. And then the piglets have a nice heat lamp they can lay under, and they can run around the pen as they're doing right now. And they can play. And I have to keep the pen dry. We have a type of pig baby powder we throw on the pens to keep it dry and clean. And right now, it's between 70 and 80 degrees in the barn all the time. So it's cold right now outside. That's why they're all inside. Piglets don't do well if it's like really hot or really cold. So they need their heat lamp to lay under. So that's one of the reasons we moved all of our pigs inside today. And then I'll show you a little around the room. It's a little dusty right now because it's getting cold outside, but there's a fan on the wall to let fresh air in when it gets warmer. The fan will come on. And then there's a thermostat, so it stays a steady temperature all the time. We got the doors right here. And there is 24 mamas in this room. Here, I'll come around, show you the mama. And they were all the piglets born in this room were born over the past week. In a couple more weeks, they'll be big enough to go to the other farmer. They'll be around 15 pounds. As the piglets get bigger, I give them little pellets so they learn how to eat pig food before they go. So is there other questions?
Great. Thank you for sharing that with us. So you said you work with your dad. Do you have other people in your family or
Oh, right.
other people on your team that you work with?
Yes, good question. If you hear a little bit of noise in the background, by the way, there's a mother playing with her pen. But yes, I work mainly in the farrowing house, but my brother also works on the farm, and he mainly takes care of the mothers during their pregnancy. So he'll make sure they get the proper amount of food and that they're comfortable. Oh, yes, there's a picture of my dad and my brother. So my dad is a first generation farmer, and he started the farm all himself when he got out of high school. And he just loved caring for the piglets so much that he decided that he wanted to focus on just that, which is why we only raise the piglets. And so then we also have 3 other assistants. So there is another boy and girl that help me in the farrowing house take care of, because you can see there's so many piglets. So even though there's a lot of piglets, they all get individual care and attention. We look at them each day and make sure they're getting enough milk. One of my jobs is to make sure all the piglets stay even in size. So one question I usually get is what I do with all the little runt pigs. Well, all the runt pigs get to be on one mom together, so they don't have to compete against the bigger pigs for milk. So mother pigs are really nice and take on pigs that aren't their own to take care of. And so my assistants, they'll help me feed and take care of the piglets and make sure they're healthy. And then there's a lot of other things we have to do, like keeping the pens clean and grinding the feed, breeding mothers after when they're due to become pregnant again. So there's a lot of work it takes on to take care of the farm.
Great. All right, well, let's go ahead. You have given us a nice introduction. Let's go ahead and open it up for some questions from the students. So let's begin right here in our home state of Ohio. Are there any questions at Ridgedale? Great, we'll take 2 or 3. We'll ask your teacher to choose a student to come up. Please walk up to the computer and speak loudly and clearly into the microphone so we can hear you. Say that again very loudly, please.
Do you guys have any misters?
Do you have any misters, Lauren? That's a great question.
Yeah, that is a really good question. Yes, I do. See, right now I didn't show them since it's winter time. But in the summertime, where the mothers are in big pens while they're pregnant, see, the mother's only in a smaller individual pen like this while she takes care of her piglets. And so when they're in big pens, there's misters, and it'll spray down and keep them cool, just like if you went to an amusement park and they have misters to keep you cool. That's the same thing. And there's and then also some of the birthing pens have little drippers that'll drip down water on the sow to keep her cool.
Great. So this leads to another question so you said your dad only has the piglets. You and your dad, your brother, the people that you work with only have mother pigs while they're pregnant. And then so your brother works there, and then you help the pigs give birth and get started drinking milk. But then there's a point that they grow so fast that the mom can no longer make enough milk to feed them, and you work with other farmers. So then they're going to go to other barns around Ohio, right?
Yes.
And some of those barns would have a lot more misters where the pigs are bigger and growing until they get to market weight. So let's take one more question from Ridgedale. Then we're going to do an activity.
Say hi.
How many piglets are all together?
How many piglets are in that litter?
Yeah, there are 12 piglets in this litter. And so this mom's doing really good. They're the ideal size that they should be at about 5 days old. They all look like they're sick and getting enough milk. They're running around with lots of energy. And so she's doing a good job. And this is what we hope that each mother can raise about 12 piglets.
All right, I need all the students, get your hands ready. Loren just said these pigs are 5 days old. So on your hands, I want you to guess how many pounds do they weigh? 10 pounds, 1 pound, 5 pounds. Let's take a guess.
5 pounds. Let's take a guess. How many pounds? Show her. She wants to know what you think.
Right now today, how many pounds
Right now
are these
today,
pigs?
how many pounds are these pigs?
10.
Good guess.
We've got guesses all over the board, Loren. How many pounds would you guess they are today?
I would say they're about 3 pounds, but maybe starting to get a little bigger. But see, I can pick this little guy up in my hand. He doesn't weigh too much yet, but he's getting pretty thick. So so over the next week though, they'll gain a lot of weight if mom keeps milking good.
Great. So raise your hand if you guessed 3 pounds. Let's see. If you guessed a 3, raise your hand. Yay, good job. Good job. All right, let's go to Idaho. What questions does your class have? Have a couple questions for us.
Michael, do you have a question? Okay, come stand up here so they can see you, and then.
Do you have any animals that are different than pigs?
We do have 5 cows, and they're out in the field. They graze the grass. So cows are a lot better at being outside in different weather conditions. They're a lot thicker and have more hair, and so they eat all the grass in the fields around the barns.
Great question. Anyone else in the class there?
What's your question? Stand right here in front. Stand right there. Okay, you gotta talk loud. Did you forget it? Oh, we forgot our question.
That's okay. Let's try another one.
How many pigs are there altogether?
There's a lot of pigs altogether on the farm. So the number of piglets always changes since pigs are being born and leaving, but there's around 1,200 mother pigs. That's a lot of mother pigs, but they're between 2 different farms. So like I said, my brother lives on a different farm and cares for them while they're pregnant. So they're not all in one barn together. They're in lots of different barns.
Okay. Great. Let's go to Michigan, and then after Michigan, we're back to Ohio.
Back to Ohio.
Hey, Ari, you want to go first?
What do you do on the farm at winter?
That's a good question. Because some farmers, their jobs on the farm may change depending on the season. During the winter, though, it stays pretty similar here on our farm because pigs are being born all year round. There isn't a season. So around 120 mothers have their piglets every other week, all year round. So there just may be different jobs like making sure the barns stay warm and the furnaces are working, or making up extra heat lamps for the piglets. Maybe some more maintenance, but otherwise I'm still caring for piglets.
Great. Is there another question?
What do pigs eat?
So the piglets will just eat milk from their mom, but the mother pigs, they'll eat corn and soybeans that are ground up and easy for them to chew. I can show you again if you forget. See, I have some in a bucket here because when the pigs start getting older, I put it on their mat the mat they have in the pen, and they learn how to eat it. So it's easy for them to eat too. So they know how to eat regular pig food when they go to the other farmer.
Great. Thank you, Loren. Let's come back to Ohio and take a couple questions from you all.
The mama pigs eat a lot once they're done having their babies.
They do eat a lot, but they actually eat more while they're nursing their babies because they have to make a lot of milk. So they require more food while during the 3 weeks they're nursing their pigs than they do later on after they're done with their piglets, and their piglets are big enough to be on their own.
Great. Is there another question?
When do you let the baby pigs go outside?
Well, the baby pigs need to stay inside because they can easily get sick. Since they're babies, they could easily get a cold or a cough if they go outside and it's too rainy or cold or too hot on them. So they stay inside, but when they're too big to nurse from their mom anymore, they'll get to go outside and go on a trailer ride to another farmer and go in a different barn.
So what's the temperature in Idaho today? How many degrees is it there? And Loren, how many degrees is it when you woke up? Do you remember?
Oh no. Can you tell me?
I think
should have checked.
around 20 degrees here, but how about in
It was pretty
Idaho?
cold.
I'm curious.
It's 28 degrees here in Idaho.
So still below freezing. So is anybody going outside without a coat today? What?
You might get sick like the piglet.
The piglets and even the mother pigs, they can't put coats on.
Yeah.
So when we can keep them inside of a barn and keep the barn warm, then they don't have to use any of their energy to stay warm. You know, shivering and being outside, that you have to eat more. It takes a lot more energy and you're not even growing. You're just maintaining where you're at or trying to maintain. So
right. Yeah.
Keeps them healthy to be inside, and they can use all of the energy, all of the food that they eat and grow. So that's a good thing. Yeah, but that's it. That's a good question. So pigs don't go outside and roll in the mud anymore like they used to. Loren's dad and my dad, we've raised pigs outside, and it's hard when there's mud and when it's cold. So that's why barns have been built, and they're good tools to help in a lot of cases. Who else has a question?
How come they fight over everything? The heat lamp and the mother's milk.
How come they fight over everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, piglets like to play. So sometimes they're playing, but it looks like they're fighting. But then they want to get the most milk. And with animals, they just think about food most of the time, and so they want to get the nipple with the most milk, and so that's why they'll kind of fight with each other so they get the most food.
All right, good question. Let's go to Idaho. What questions do you guys have?
Whoever's coat that is, please move it. Okay.
When can pigs go to the fair?
So I used to take pigs to the fair. When I was younger, we held back some of these piglets and didn't take them to the other farmer, and I took them to the fair to show. And so now that I'm older, I can't show at the fair anymore, and so all these piglets go to the other farmer. But I know a lot of kids that do take pigs to the fair and buy pigs from other farmers.
It's a good question. All right, we'll take another one from your classroom.
How do mother pigs make milk?
That's a good question. So when they become pregnant, their body naturally gets ready to make milk. And so when their piglets are born, they're just all ready to have food for them, to provide for them. So it's pretty neat.
All right, back to Michigan.
Okay, Libby.
What is your favorite season on the farm?
I probably like the fall. Actually, I was about to say summer, but it can get pretty hot in the summer. So I would say I like the fall because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. And the farm looks really nice outside, and the piglets are usually comfortable in the barns. They don't get too cold or too hot either.
All right. Is there another question from your class?
Do your plants ever die?
Sorry, could you say that again?
Do your plants ever die?
Do your plants?
Maybe we should ask.
Or the pigs?
Like your crops. Do you have crops, I guess? is the
Oh,
question.
that's a good question.
Do they
So my family doesn't raise the crops. We have neighbors that are farmers, and they raise the corn and soybeans. And so yeah, some years they lose some crops and it isn't as good. But they always provide us with enough food to feed our pigs.
All right. Let's go back through each of the classes. We'll take one more question from each class. So how about Ridgedale?
How good are piglets or pigs hearing?
What was that? How good are they at hearing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, pigs are all good at hearing. So whenever I walk in the room, they can hear me and they know it's time to eat. So they are really observant of everything.
Great. How about Idaho? Do you have one more question?
How old is an average pig when it dies?
That's a good question. Usually a pig is probably maybe around 5 years or so if it's a mother pig, because pigs can age a lot quicker than humans do. But as for these little piglets, they'll be close to 300 pounds, around 280 pounds within 6 months. And then that's when they'll be ready to go to market.
All right. How about Michigan? This will be our
How old are your pigs?
They're all different ages. So like the pigs I've been showing you here are 5 days old, and I like to show them because they're still little, but they like to play. But we have pigs all ages here. They can be newborns, or they can be 2 weeks old. The mothers can be anywhere from 2 to 5 years old. So they all have, I think this mom lost hers. Sometimes they lose their ear tag. That's one other thing. Let me see if I can find a different mom with an ear tag. So each mom, she says hi. Let me show your ear tag. Oh, she doesn't want to see it, show it. But each mom has an ear tag. Here's the back of it. And it has a number on it. And I can keep track of her, and I know exactly how old she is. Sometimes they lose their ear tags, and I don't know. But
Did you see that was Santa Claus that just asked us the question? Did you see his shirt? His beard was right on his shirt. That's cool. All right. Do you have anything else you want to share, Loren, before we wrap up?
Well, thank you for coming to visit. Well, you didn't get to come, but you got to see inside. Thank you for visiting the pig barn. I hope now that you can see that the pigs are comfortable and they stay healthy here in the barn. I'm really thankful to be able to take care of them every day. We also have a veterinarian that comes to the farm every other month to check up on our piglets. And so I hope you had a great time.
Hey, thanks. So everybody get your hands ready. We've got one more thing. What do we need to do for our special guest, the farmer? Great job, Loren. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
With us.
You're welcome. Okay, when it gets to us, we're going to say goodbye.
Bye.
Peace. Peace.